In this video, I'm going to explain how to add an image to your HTML file. I'm in the Module 2 notes. I'm on slide 51 if you want to take a look at my notes. But first, I want to take you over to my browser to look at our NCCC home page. So when I say image, an image could be a .jpg extension file, which is typically a picture such as this one here. Notice these are also pictures. You could also have a .png, which is typically a drawing, such as our logo up here. The other thing you could bring in is a .gif, which typically is an animated image. So any of these could come in as images, but they are stored as separate files on your machine, and you would just point your browser in your HTML to where that file exists and what the file name is, and then your browser is going to find the file and display it on the page. So to do that, I'm going to bring you back over to my notes. You'll need the image tag. It is open bracket, img, close bracket. Notice that there is no closing tag. Right? No closing tag because there's no text content in between. What we're going to do instead is use what we call attributes to specify what the file name is, and that's going to go right inside the img tag. So attributes provide a little bit more information about a tag. So in the case of the img, we have img as the tag name itself, and the attributes we are going to use, the first one is src. That's for source. This is going to give the browser the file name. alt is another attribute we can use. This attribute is used to provide a text. It's considered alternate text, so if the image is not found, the text will display instead. It's also used in screen readers. Now you can also resize your image using two additional attributes. They are called the width attribute or the height attribute. So either of these can be used to resize, or both to resize your image. And again, all of these different attributes would go inside of the image tag. So take a look at the sample syntax that I have down at the bottom of the slide. So I have the opening angle bracket with img space and then my first attribute, which is the src. So it's src equals and then the file name in quotation marks, so surrounded by double quotes. My next attribute is the alternate text, so it's alt equals and then my text is in double quotes. I then change the width and the height, again following the same pattern. So width, width equals, and then 300 in double quotes. The first step is to find a file that you want to download. So I'm just going to go over to Google and type in Buffalo, New York images. And here I'm just clicking on images, and I'm going to choose the first one that pops up here. So click on the image you like, and notice that it's expanded on the right hand side. When you hover your mouse over the image, also notice that it gives you a pixel size. So this is 2048 by 1365. That's awfully large, but we're going to resize. So right click, choose Save Image As, and navigate to the folder where you want to save it. Notice that it gives it a default name. Change that to something easy. I'm just going to name mine Buffalo. And it gives it the JPEG extension, so I don't need to type that in. Click Save. Okay, and you've downloaded your file. Now head over to REPL. I've got that somewhere. Here we are. Okay, and here's my sample file. So if you look at my code, I just have some comments up at the top with a brief description of the file. On my line 5 is the doc type HTML tag. On my line 7 is the HTML open. Down at the bottom, HTML close. I gave it a title. And then I have a body open, body close. Inside the body, just an H1 that says, Welcome to Buffalo, New York. Just so we have something to look at other than the images. Same with this next P tag, Visit Buffalo's Downtown. And then finally my image tag. So before we actually put anything in here, we do need to bring this file into REPL. So how to bring the image file into REPL? head over to the left-hand side of your screen where it says Files. And the first one says Add File. We don't want that. Then look at Add Folder, and then you've got the 3 dots. Click on the 3 dots and choose Upload File. This allows you to search your folders to find a file that you want. And so I stored mine here in my CIS119 folder. Okay, and I just selected that file, and notice now that buffalo.jpg is here in my file list. So now I can include it. All right, so now go back to my line 18 where I have my image tag, so it's IMG. Now my source, SRC, is set equal to the exact file name, right, exactly as I have it here on the left in my file list. Then I added some alternate text, and I changed the width and height to make it far smaller. I think I did about half, maybe a little bit more than half of what the pixel size was, so I made it 1,650. And then go ahead and run. Okay, and I know you can't quite see this too well, but there's my image. And so instead of running here in the window, I'm going to choose this little icon here with the arrow and the square, and it says open in a new tab so you can see it. Okay, and there's my image.